Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week. I hope it's been good for you all. I want to go ahead and start by talking about what we're going to be doing today and probably on Monday as well, and that is looking at the geography of the Middle East here. Um, Typically, when people talk about the Middle East, they're talking about the area you see behind me. So, kind of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, Iran. It's kind of cut off here, but Turkey up here in the north. And they often assume a couple of things about it that is kind of true, kind of not true. Um, they assume that most people in this region speak Arabic, have a similar language. And they also assume that most people here are Muslims. They practice Islam. And there's some exceptions to that. For one, for language, Iran is actually speaks what is known as Farsi or Persian. And then Egypt, as far as Egypt and Lebanon, as far as the religion goes, actually have pretty sizable Christian populations. So there are exceptions to this. We're going to look here in a second at what the Middle East actually, where that term comes from. But one thing I want to point out is that lately we've been talking about Mesopotamia. Today, you wouldn't find Mesopotamia on a map. So often when people are talking about Mesopotamia, they're talking about the area between the Tigris and Euphrates, which covers most of what's modern day Iraq. So most of the time when we're talking about Mesopotamia, we're actually talking about modern day Iraq. Hang on to this like map behind me. You'll be able to use it later if you need it. But I do want to go to Canvas real quick and kind of go over what we're going to be doing. So for starters, I want you to go through and I'll have you read this. You don't need to worry about this top part here. This is where I want you to kind of start paying attention. So when we talk about the Middle East, it's actually something that's fairly modern in terms of like saying. It actually comes into use around the 1900s after World War One, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed and they divided the Allies divided up this area of their empire into all these different territories. And eventually those territories became independent and created countries that we know of: Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Israel, Lebanon. And the idea was that once these places left, they needed a new name for this region. So it's in the middle of the region, of the middle of this part of the world, so therefore the Middle East. It doesn't have any set borders. Like, depending on who you ask and what you're talking about, the countries in the Middle East will change. For our purposes, I'll have a list here in the next slide of countries that we're going to consider as part of the Middle East. But depending on who you ask and what you're talking about, North Africa is considered part of the Middle East. If you go to the east, you'll get into Pakistan, Afghanistan, the Asian steppe countries, and sometimes those are part of the Middle East. And so the idea that the Middle East is one kind of precise region isn't entirely accurate. It, depending on what you're talking about and who you're asking, that can change. So down here in this last paragraph, it talks about the climate of the Middle East, grasslands, rangelands, and mostly desert. So the Middle East is kind of a social term that we use to describe the central area between Europe and Asia, and it's kind of the middle, so Middle East. So what you're going to be doing is, on the assignment for today, there is this list of about, I think there's 15 countries here. I'm going to have a table that I want you to fill out for me. It's one where you'll open it in a new tab, And when you go to open it, make sure you hit open and then edit in document and then edit in the browser. That first one, that allows you to save your answers, and then you should be able to go back to your original tab that you opened it in once you finish, and that should submit the assignment for you. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to write the country off the left here. You're going to tell me the capital. You're going to tell me the major religion of that country, what type of government it has, and then the current leader, whether it's a man or woman, and then how many years they have held that position. And you'll do this for the 15 countries, and this is what you'll turn in for today. And then on Monday, we will expand this a little further to deal with kind of the physical features like the mountains, rivers, and those things that are important for you all to understand as we go forward. So other than that, and then here is that list of countries again that you'll be filling the chart in for. Other than that, I don't actually have anything else for you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you guys have any questions, shoot me an email, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you all. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday.